Hello there to all you bucketheads, and welcome back to all you foundlings. This is the most disorganized podcast on the internet, Under the Helmet Podcast. Woohoo! So, while you're here at the very beginning of the episode, don't forget to like the video, comment, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you never miss our live shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Tonight, we have a very special guest, Anthony, aka also known on Instagram as Vanillawombat.
What's going on,
welcome
guys?
to the stream, man.
Glad to be here.
Glad to have you, man. So we brought you on to talk Galactic Starcruiser. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of your cosplays as well. So
Sounds
I'm
good.
excited, man. So I wanted to get started with kind of always a little opening question, little warm up. So if you could own any ship in Star Wars, what ship would you own? Like, what would be like your daily commuter ship?
Okay, so I'm thinking about two. So obviously, the X-wing is a classic. But I'd say other than that, I'd say the Jedi Interceptor. I guess the Actus is what the official the sweaty name is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the pushes up anime classes. You mean the Eta-2 Actus class Interceptor Starfighter used by the Jedi Order?
Yeah, in the Revenge of the Sith at the beginning. Yeah, those are awesome looking.
Those are cool. I love those. Those ships so much. All right, Eli, what would you pick?
Ooh, I didn't know this. I didn't know this question was coming. Shoot. Honestly, what is it?
Describe it.
It's Dengar's ship. It's the Jump Master.
I actually don't know that.
It's a woogity looking one. It looks a little bit like a moon.
Let me look this up because now I'm curious.
Like if you imagine that the Crescent Copter from Moon Knight's Crescent Copter and a starship
I've never
had
seen
a
this.
baby.
It's called the Punishing One, and it's a Jump Master 5000.
Yeah, I had one of those in a tabletop campaign.
I've never seen this one before. That's crazy. Interesting. I guess it's never really been in any of the shows or movies or anything. So.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about a lot of the bounty hunter ship.
Yeah. No, but that looks cool.
Yeah.
All right. We got A1 links in the chat who brought up the TIE. He brought up the TIE Echelon, which is pretty deep cut. Honestly, if I had to pick,
that's the one that's at Galaxy's Edge, the TIE Echelon.
Is that the one that's like docked?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. It's like a transport ship. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I have a hard time because, all right. So if I'm traveling somewhere that's like a short distance, like if I'm just like hopping between planets, I want to go with the Episode 2 Jedi Starfighter, that like sleek triangular
one.
Yeah, okay. But I want the Star Wars variant where you can fit a full astromech because I'm always rolling with the droid.
One of my favorite ships actually is the one. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, man, you're good.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, if I had to travel like a distance, though, honestly, I would go with the YT-1300. I want the Millennium Falcon, but my own Falcon.
That's the one with as like the extension wing right here, right?
No, that's the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. Duh.
The I think it's the 2300 that you're thinking.
Yeah.
Of. I don't know my.
Let's see. That Starfighter you're talking about, the Episode 2 one. Have you seen the micro series Clone Wars?
Yes, the 2D one? The 2003 one.
Dude, the one that Anakin has with like the pod racer engines on it. That's so sick. I love that one.
Oh, that one is awesome.
The blue one.
Honestly, Anakin took that ship and he modded that thing out to be kick ass, and then Ventress just blows it up.
Yeah, the pod racer engines on it gave it that extra speed. It was so dope.
Everybody cried at that one when that ship got blown up. that was honestly devastating. One of my favorite lightsaber duels in Star Wars, though, was that fight between Anakin and Ventress. Just
it's so cool.
Lights and the colors, just the way it goes. It's such a cool fight.
The rain, yeah.
Yes,
the way the rain's like creating the evaporation off the blade.
That was a really cool aspect. I like that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Something we don't really see in the movies
is how like I'm always a fan of an animation one, like you have characters fighting, and this is in any show, like whenever like a character like takes damage and they're like their base like costume is like ripped or like
start coming off.
Parts of it start coming off. Just beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing to see. So when I saw like they were like Anakin's like robes were getting all torn up and like raggedy and frayed, and like every time I watch that scene I discover like something new about it, and it's so cool.
Yeah, as he gets like beat up, it starts coming off.
Absolutely. And Ventress gets beat up too. I mean, she's got at one point it's like right around her left arm there's like a loop of her, I guess, shirt. I don't really know.
Yeah. They don't really acknowledge it as canon, but there's no reason why it couldn't be. It doesn't really conflict that much with anything that happens in the Clone Wars. The actual
Absolutely.
3D.
And I mean, they kind of like tongue-in-cheek reference it with like when Anakin and Obi-Wan first fight Ventress, and what's the episode? The one with the clone traitor where they first fight her. That's technically
it was when they were on Christophsis, I think, right?
Yeah, when they were on Christophsis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like at the beginning of that show or the movie, whatever you want to talk about, he's already knighted. And in that 2D animation, you see stuff before he gets knighted, and you actually see the knighting ceremony where the braid gets cut off.
That was one of the coolest scenes for me as a kid. Like, and what I love about that is that they kept the same the same dialogue, the same knighting dialogue, and they use it in Fallen Order and in Rebels as well. Like when Cal and Kanan get knighted. I think it's by the right of the council, by the will of the Force. Because Yoda says it when he's doing Anakin,
Knight of the Jedi Order.
Knight of the Jedi Order. And then I'm trying to remember, I dub the,
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was cool.
Clone Wars is one of my favorite eras of Star Wars, so I am.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, exactly. There's some really cool stuff that comes out of that era. Kind of sad to see it end,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think there's still things they can explore about it though.
Yeah.
Because we know what kind of that Anakin and Ahsoka and Obi-Wan are doing, but like I'd love to see more stories focused about like smaller characters. Like I'd love to see, maybe a Luminara and Barriss mission, like Mace, like what was the book that Mace Windu had in Legends? Shatterpoint.
Dude, what happened to Luminara was so messed up.
Yeah.
The whole thing where they were using her body, her decaying body as like a trap.
Man, that was something else.
Yeah.
The Empire was out of pocket for that one. And the fact that everyone's like, Rebels is a kid's show. Season 1, they've got a dead body propped up. And like the worst part is they took the time to animate a hologram of her standing up, walking into the wall, and just turning around, and it's death.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some dark stuff,
Absolutely. I want to bring up here. Chat is talking about your helmets in the back. So
Oh yeah.
Want to talk about those for a quick sec?
Oh, I need to click on comments. I'm not seeing that yet. Yeah. So all except for the Captain Rex one, they're 3D printed, and I finished and painted them myself. I also painted the Captain Rex, but that was a kit made from ABS from Imperial Surplus.
Ooh, I've heard good stuff about them.
I have heard really good things about Imperial Surplus. So
I'm currently working on the full Rex armor right now. It's taken me months so far, but I'm excited to have that, and I really want to get like 501st approval.
Oh wow! Best of luck to you. I know that can be tough.
Thank you.
That's exciting. Yeah, good luck. Absolutely.
That's partially why I bought the kit from that guy, because a lot of the 501st members buy from him and then make their their armor.
Right.
So it's like good.
Yeah. I just today had my printer
This is my Mando.
Oh hell yeah!
Actually, you know what? I'll bring some over. Actually, I'll bring Rex.
Wait a second. You have a pit droid.
Oh yeah, I do. I
You
made
have a
that
freaking
too.
pit droid.
I made that as well.
Wait a second. Wait, no.
I
I
put a
remember when
blaster
you
in his
first
hand.
made that thing.
Yeah.
I remember when you first made that guy. He showed up on my timeline. Jeez, I've been following you a lot longer than I remember.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I see the pit droid. I see the what's it, the 332nd clone?
Hunter. Yeah, I got the
Hunter.
commando rifle too that I made.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
I want to definitely get
fun.
more Clone Wars blasters. I've only got OT blasters. Well, I've only got my only 2 3D printed blasters I have are both OT. I have Boba Fett's E3 and I have Han Solo's DL-44 from A New Hope and Empire. Or not Empire, I'm Return of the Jedi.
The next one I want to make is the Sith Stalker helmet from Force Unleashed. You know, like the kind of it's not canon obviously. It's like kind of like those what if scenarios.
Yeah, where
you played the DLC, I'm assuming.
Turns to the dark side.
Yeah, and he has like that Vader-esque helmet.
Yeah, the one where he survives and
so cool.
It's when you choose the dark ending, I think, right, where he kills Vader.
Yes. So
and it was like DLC.
I'm not always the biggest fan of Force Unleashed, and I have my fair share of criticisms about Starkiller, but that was a fun series. That was a fun set of like missions because I played the first one and I thoroughly enjoyed the first.
Yeah, and then I think it was Force Unleashed 2 where they have like a continuation of that where he's on like the Battle of Endor and he's like he kills Luke, he kills or no, he doesn't kill Luke, he kills Leia, he kills Han, he kills Chewbacca. He jumps up there and straight up like force chokes him and then stabs him with the blade.
That was brutal for no reason.
He actually lifts him up, he punches him and then stabs him.
Yeah, I think he kills Han Solo and then like Chewbacca does the whole like
the boss battle was then he's in the ATST.
Oh
yeah.
Shoot.
Cause and then Leia comes out as a Jedi, I think, and she gets she gets worked.
Oh yeah, because you kill Luke, or no, you make him your apprentice or something like that. You corrupt him in the Hawk battle.
Side. I don't know what happens because like I know he holds, if I remember correctly, he's holding the Falcon in place. And Luke like goes dark side for like a second to like push him away.
Oh yeah, because it kind of like a reaction.
Yeah,
to,
like Luke
try
with
and
dark
beat
side
him.
like pushes him away, and then like Starkiller chops his hand off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then after that, it's like you see he's got like yellow eyes, and he's like good, and then it like cuts to black. So,
dude, I would really like to see him become canon in some kind of like Inquisitor role. That would be so cool.
I remember back when Rebels was first coming out and we were just hearing about the Inquisitors, a lot of people thought he was going to show up.
Yeah.
I mean,
nope.
We got
Starkiller was definitely one of those characters that like everybody wants to see. And
there's so many other opportunities we could see him though. Like if we do another, they're going to do another Fallen Order.
Yes.
I mean, there's always the Kenobi show, but I'm not holding out hope for that, you know. But you never know.
Never know, man. Well,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I would love to see sort of a like when it comes to Starkiller. My only issue is I know for a fact when they bring him in, they're gonna have to like nerf him. And
yeah, of course, no, because those whole games are like over the top force powers, bringing a whole Star Destroyer down like.
So I actually have a point about
everything.
That. I actually have a really good point about that I brought up. I did have a chat with a 1313 podcast last night. We actually brought up Starkiller, so I'll plug that for a second. But I said, you know, Starkiller doesn't technically pull the Star Destroyer down. He just sort of guides it to a stop. And a lot of people sort of misinterpret that scene. And don't get me wrong, it's really cool and it's a strong feat of force ability. But it's not as impressive as people say it is. It's like
you mean like so you mean like the initial pull and then like the gravity and everything.
Well, yeah, because he doesn't even pull the ship. Like the ship is falling. It's been a while. I actually went back and
it's been a while, yeah.
Because he destroys something on he goes there to destroy the Imperial shipyard on Raxus.
Yeah.
And there's a Star Destroyer in orbit that was like being built or something, and it like. He destroyed the thing that was holding the Star Destroyer, and it got caught in the planet's gravity, and it starts pulling down. And he's like, and he even tells, I believe it's Rom Cody, he's like, I don't know if I can stop it. And Ramkoda's like, you have to try. He's like, okay.
Well, it crashes really cool. down, but doesn't he like actually stop it from like?
He puts up enough force to like stop it.
But you can see how that's still like over the top, like crazy, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
That's an entire structure.
It's an incredibly powerful feat.
Yeah, like I don't even think Vader could do that. You know, which is why I'm saying it's like, the whole game is just to have fun. It's just like over the top. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It is like at the end of the day.
Break the canon.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they would have to nerf him.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
It wouldn't even. Yeah. No. Exactly. I mean, it wouldn't even be a problem nerfing him. You know.
Yeah.
Just exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't care. You know.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and kind of delve into the Galactic Starcruiser now. The big ship in the room. Cool. So my first question is this. So how many organs did you have to sell to get on it?
So I was extremely privileged. We have a friend. It was his birthday. His parents are very well off. So I was invited to join. So otherwise awesome. I never would have. Yeah, no, I'm extremely fortunate for that. But no, I would never be able to afford that. But you know what I will say? I'd say it's worth saving up for like a decade. Obviously, you know, it would take a long time to save up that kind of money, but I would say it's worth it to save up that kind of money for it. Obviously, you know, if you'd rather go to like Europe or something, that would for like a week, you know, I could totally understand that, but you know, it was a lot of fun. It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really had a good time with it. I made a whole video summarizing a bit of it on TikTok, and you would not believe how many toxic comments I got on that video.
Ooh.
Oh man, dude. We could definitely get into TikTok comments, but
oh no, don't get him started.
We'll get into that in a minute. I actually had a very interesting experience. So before the show, I went to a local restaurant and was eating dinner. I was in the bar eating dinner, and this older gentleman behind me literally is he's sitting there and he's like, yeah, and I hear because I'm sitting there and I'm like listening very like just to what's going on, like situational awareness, and I hear somebody mention a lightsaber. And I'm like, these guys have no idea who's sitting in front of them, which is hilarious to me. But they're sitting there and they're going on, and this guy says, yeah, and I'm going on that Star Wars hotel next week. Or this
Dude, to call it a hotel is a disservice. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I've heard it's more like a. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, it's hard to market it to and describe to it. I'll tell you what though, I was exhausted by the end of each day because you're constantly on the move doing things, you know.
Absolutely, it definitely seemed very jam packed.
Yeah.
But I mentioned like, oh, you know, I'm talking to somebody about it tonight, so it kind of made me think of this question on the way home was what would you recommend to somebody who's going to go? Like what are like if you could recommend like 3 things, what would you recommend to them?
Okay, for sure, come in costume because there was a lot of people that I noticed that were in like, you know, the typical tourist attire, like shorts and a t-shirt. And I noticed that they didn't really get much from it because the characters and everything are taking the time to interact with people who are dressed up and, you know, actually trying to play along. Another thing I'd say would be to actually have conversation with the characters because that's how you get in on like the story moments and everything like that. I remember towards the beginning, I was dressed in my resistance gear.
Yes.
And I was talking to the captain of the ship because the First Order had like invaded. And she was like, "You seem like a trustworthy person. Meet me in the cargo hold at 8:30." And I was like, "Holy shit!" Oh. Yeah. So then, like 8:30, so we meet in there, and she was like talking about how, like, you know, like she's helping the resistance or whatever. And the next day on Batu or whatever, there's like a specific shipment that we need to pick up for the resistance, which turned out to be coaxium, you know, the fuel source.
Oh yeah.
And right as she's giving this briefing, the door opens and these stormtroopers walk through. And then she has to like explain, like she's playing it off like she's giving us a tour of the cargo room and everything like that. It was crazy. It it was just stuff like that was insane. And like there were situations where I had to distract the stormtrooper, you know, while they're trying to like smuggle this stuff. I had to end up smuggling some coaxium during a concert in the main hall, which Gaia, the Twi'lek lady, was performing, to get it to another person with discreetly. It was crazy. It's just stuff like that was just really fun. That's not scripted. And you look at the itinerary, and there's all these things that are happening, but that's not even like the surface of it. You know what I mean? There's all these little things going on, and you can pretty much join a faction without actually joining a faction. So say I was
that's cool,
dressed a certain way, and I started having conversation with the first order officer. That was his name was Lieutenant Croy, which I joked, and I was calling him Lieutenant LaCroix, like the sparkling water.
That is, I'll tell you what, that is really cool. So I definitely think one of the big criticisms of the Starcruiser when the itinerary first dropped and you had that trailer and all that, where people were very like, oh, this looks very scripted. And I definitely know some people had said it seems like they don't even give you time to enjoy the experience. And I remembered you had said that I think when we I can't remember if you said it in DMs or if you put on your story or something like that, but you said, you know, you get out of it what you put into it. And that's basically what I told the guy. And I said, you know, my buddy said, listen, you get out of it what you put into it. So if you're gonna like go all into it, and you will enjoy it a lot more. So
like I said, yeah, you wear your costume, you talk to the characters, and you actually make an effort to, you know, engage with them. They'll give you like that whole thing with the cargo hold. If I didn't talk to the captain, I never would have known about that. You know what I mean? Or been in on that. So like I said, yeah, you get what you put into it. And there were points where like the whole thing with that coaxium or whatever, we're discussing like the mission and like this the bridge, I'd say. And they asked my name or whatever like that, and they put me in charge of like commanding everyone on the bridge. Like, you know, he pointed me out and made me like the center of attention, and I felt like a supporting character. You know what I mean?
That's
and he's like, do you know the bridge? And the funny thing is, the day before we had bridge training, so I was like, yeah, I got this.
There you go.
You know?
That's amazing. So
yeah.
Sick.
I think I know you had a really cool experience with the lightsaber training. So what was that like?
So okay, so I'll tell you at first, I thought I was skeptical of it. I thought it looked kind of, you know, so, but it was a lot different than I expected, because I went in there. Lieutenant LaCroix and his battalion of fruitful soldiers.
That's Callahan.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, so yeah, we go in there, and the Jedi, I'd say, is a master or whatever. They call themselves the Saga. I guess it's kind of like a split off of the Order. I guess what would you call it? You know, like the Church of the Force kind of thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Like, they're not Jedi, but they have Force ability. You know what I mean? I guess that's the way they get around it.
Guardians of the Wills sort of deal, you know?
Something like that.
Because I mean,
and the sabers, you get them, and you know the cool thing is when you're blocking, like the blaster bolts, which are just like the light source, it actually like vibrates, like it feels like legit, like you're actually like blocking something. And then at one point, it's like you're guiding. You can see it because there's like a flash on the remote or whatever you call them. Like, not the, obviously they're not the floating ones, but it was on the wall. And then at some point, I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but he's like, we're gonna try using the Force instead of, because Master Yoda actually was like talking about how, you know, they're not ready or whatever. You have to like use the Force to guide you or whatever. And he's like, yeah, let's do this. And he pointed me out, and he's like, you've shown like, you know, expertise in this, you know what I mean? Because we're all like saber twirling in our spare time. So I was like blocking that shit like crazy. And he's like, you're going to try it without the guides and the training remote. And you would see like these little sparkles on each side. So that's how you really knew how to block. But, you know, obviously you have to train your head to be like, oh, I'm using the Force kind of thing.
That's, you know, sick. That is
and
so
it, like,
cool.
Sped up progressively, and I'm like blocking like that, and you know, yeah,
that is really,
it was really cool. And they always like, they put your hand on your shoulder and everything. It's like a very like connected kind of, you know, feeling. Yeah,
that's super cool. I'll tell you what, that was probably the biggest like question I had coming in was about the lightsaber training, because those of you that know me, I'm a lightsaber guy. I love my lightsaber. I literally I did a video today where I've got it hanging on the wall right here, but I took one of my sabers, the
let me get
core
mine
had
too.
some button issues, so my saber core had some button issues, so I had ordered a new one anyway because I wanted the upgraded.
I just dropped a
sound
bunch of shit.
So I just took the core out, and while I was waiting, I said, I've got this NeoPixel. I've got, I took my one saber apart, but I had two, and I said, wait a minute, I got an idea. So I lined it up, and the squeak sounds horrible. Sorry, everybody. Oh my god, no, it was so loud yesterday, but I took it, and now look, I've got a wonderful saber pike.
Nice.
So if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that, just know saber pike. There's gonna be a lot of saber pike content. I don't apologize.
You're gonna like this.
More dilly maze.
So
yeah,
this is a NeoPixel saber.
Yeah, NeoPixel.
So you're gonna like this sound font. Just listen to it.
Is that the Younglings one? Yes. All right.
Oh my god.
So I have a Xenopixel, or not Xenopixel, a Profi one. So
yeah,
I gotta go find that font and install it on this one right here, because I made a oopsie daisy last night and was taking some pictures and doing some spinning, and I did the flip catch, and I was like, no way, I'm gonna do it again, and I missed, and the saber fell and it hit the floor hard. Oh yeah, I've got a dark saber font too, but I was like super scared, like, oh shoot, and then like the blade wasn't working, but like the sound was working. I was like, uh-oh. So I was like, hold on, let me switch my blades out real quick. Thankfully, I just killed the blade. Thank goodness. Because I originally made a review of this saber kind of trashing it, but it's grown on me a lot. It really has. Now, does yours silently change fonts?
What's up?
Does yours like silently change fonts?
No, I'm like holding it so it's not like super loud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so pretty. Wombat, question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Where did you get your saber from?
Okay, so this is Corvanth.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this one's pretty good. I got one that was a lot cheaper that I think I might buy from going forward, because they're like maybe a couple $100 cheaper. It's from a company named Ally Sabers. It's where I got my Darth Maul staff from, and it's the NeoPixel as well. I think it was like $250. Like this one, I didn't know a lot about sabers. I saved up for it. It was like $600. Yeah.
I admittedly made I made a mistake when I was buying sabers. I didn't know what I was doing, and I bought Ultra Sabers.
Yeah, they're a good starter saber, but I don't know. Ever since I bought one of these, I just can't go back, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the Galaxy's Edge sabers are just so, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys watched the Star Wars anime?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Okay,
yes.
I got that font right here. The Wanderer. You know, the first episode.
Yes.
Nice. I wanna play this font right here. This is probably one of my favorites.
What did it say?
It says "Daddy Issues Complete." It's a Luke Skywalker one. So, because when I first got this saber, I was like scrolling through the fonts on like video with him, and then all of a sudden we're both sitting there. It's like, "Daddy Issues." Like, what? That's hilarious.
Dude, the Sidious one is so bassy, and I love it.
Oh yes. Now, do you know who made some of the fonts on there? Like,
I don't actually, but I'll tell you, K-Sith is a really good font maker.
K-Sith and Kyberphonic are probably the two best out there that I know.
Yeah, This one's Savage.
But yeah, I'm excited for my core that's coming in tomorrow because it's got a an Ezra Bridger font on it that I am super excited about.
Now, could you spell that out for me so I can bookmark that for research purposes?
What?
Which one? Alley Sabers?
Vanilla, whichever one you recommended going for.
Ally Sabers. So ALLY and then Sabers. This one's pretty cool. It's a TIE Fighter font.
That's
Oh,
pretty
that's
cool. I like that.
That is cool.
Yeah, that
I'll
one
tell you
doesn't
what,
work.
that is one of the coolest things about.
The Magna Guard.
Ooh, I would love to have a Magna Guard Electro Staff.
Yeah, right? That'd be so sick.
That'd be sick.
That would be cool. A NeoPixel Electro Staff. That would be sick. They could do it. Somebody could get that done.
This is the rain effect. You could. The font is rain too. You could hear it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'll tell you what.
mm.
Core Band is one of the top saber makers out there. So that is a super cool saber.
Back to the Future.
I'll tell you what. I wanna program some fonts on this saber. I got to figure out how. This is a.
I haven't done it yet either.
So speaking of Saber Forge, hey, I emailed you a couple days ago. I'm waiting on a response.
Oh.
Best
Is he
luck.
back?
And it's not anything bad about the saber. It's the saber originally had these fins on it that I didn't like, so I took them off. But now the screws are kind of stripped, so now they won't stay in place.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the screws won't hold the fins in place. Like the fins are fine, and the screws are fine. It just doesn't hold them in place anymore. So I just figured I probably need some new screws. So I asked them, send them an email, hey, what's up? Still haven't heard anything. Saber Forge, come on, guys. Where you at?
Yeah, I love playing with these things. It's so it's just, and it looks so good on camera too.
Oh, absolutely, mine too. So I started with the Legacy Sabers from the Disney parks. That was my first one, and I bought them secondhand off a smuggler. I would I had a smuggler that would mail them to me, and I'll never forget. I got when I got the Skywalker Saber for the first time. They have it labeled as Rey's. I just call it the Skywalker Saber because
I mean, yeah, it's the original.
Skywalker at some point.
I'm not one of those that's gets mad about it, but it's Anakin's lightsaber. Let's be
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's the Youngling Slayer 9000.
I get it. They do that because they want to market it that way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
To the younger generation, I guess you would say.
Absolutely. And I mean, she does wield it for a time. And technically, I've been in so many Rey Skywalker debates. I'm fried from it. My brain just goes on because
it's exhausting, man.
They all say the same 3 points over and over and over again. Like she's a Palpatine. Why is she a Palpatine? Because she's not a Skywalker. Why is she not a Skywalker? Because she's a Palpatine. Okay.
Here's my thoughts on it. It's been how many years since the movie came out? Just let it go, man.
3 years now.
Let it go, man.
Just let it go, dude. Okay. So here's my thoughts on it too.
Grass.
There's so much Star Wars content, and it's there's no way you're gonna like all of it, but it doesn't ruin the things you do love. You know what I mean? It's pick and choose. It doesn't have to all be catered to you. I don't like the Resistance show, but I don't say it ruined my childhood or anything.
No, I know. And I was describing this to my friend the other night, and because there's a current controversy on TikTok going on where somebody took the Lego Skywalker Saga game, and he pointed at the opening screen, and I'm sure you've all seen the video at this point where the dude calls he's like I love this game right here, but this bitch being at the top talking about Rey, and it's bro, first off, he got ratioed by his own comment section, so there's that. Bro literally got lit up in the comments from everybody. But then so I did a stitch about it, and I did I think 2, and just literally, and then I made a parody video about it. Didn't even mention the thing. I was just and I did it like with the Batman, where we got the Riddler singing Ave Maria in the background. I did like that sound. Oh, it was hilarious. It was like, and it was like, and over here it's like the guy that called Lego Ray Skywalker a bitch. And it's like, it was hilarious. But people whole comment like she's not a Skywalker though. I'm like, bro.
Dude, it's just so dumb. It's just like it's the smallest.
It's like out of
It's
all
like
the
who
things,
cares, dude?
like, and here's the thing, I was a former Ray Skywalker
You there?
disliker.
Froze
So
for
I
a second.
understood this. I said, listen.
Oh yeah, he does this from time to time.
Oh,
His
sorry.
internet's not that good.
Oh, okay.
You froze, dude. It's all good.
Hey,
Yeah, you froze
what was
for
the
a
last thing
second.
you guys heard? I gotta go. I gotta go beat the hamster on my wheel. Tell him to run faster. Run faster!
Just beat the router.
Okay, there we go.
Update. I just bought a lightsaber.
Which one
Yep.
did you get?
I think I got the Vega from
Is that
Ally
just like is that
Sabers.
one of the custom ones or is that the replica of something?
It's one of the custom ones. I
Okay.
personally, if I buy a saber, I typically don't go for replicas because I want something that feels like it's mine.
Dude, the High Republic one they have on their site looks so cool.
Oh, don't get me
Dude,
started.
Alley Sabers?
Yeah, they have the one with the it looks more like the Knight Sword. You know what I'm talking about.
Isn't
right?
it the crossguard one?
It's a crossguard, but it's not like Kylo Ren's. It's kind of got like
Yeah.
that
that
thin
Yes,
strip, and
I
it's
think
got like the.
it's Elzar Mann's, right? The one with
I think it's
because
a
it's got the
Geo.
folding out pieces. You put the
Geos,
little glass
yeah.
in there, and it does look really good.
I haven't read any
Oh.
of the comics from that, but
I have not
just
either. I
hear some
haven't
of it's
delved into
good.
High Republic, but I follow some High Republic creators that kind of like talk about it. So I'm like, I know very briefly.
That's
Oh, they
honestly
have the
where I want to
Bridger
go.
saber.
I want
have the
them to
stapler.
just touch that era and make movies on it. So it's like, okay, so there's nothing. It doesn't depend on anything. Like the sequels had to depend on everything that came before. I
Right.
want to see like High Republic stuff that has no ties to any of the Skywalker saga. Can completely make original stories. Like it's okay if they're like seeds of things that connect to like Phantom Menace, but for the most part, I want to see something like completely new.
Absolutely. I would also love to see a post like Rise of Skywalker sort of story. And even better, if they're like, hey, we don't want to touch on Rey and the Jedi and the Resistance and all that. That's fine. You don't have to do that. Do a Mandalorian style show. Like literally, the Mandalorian is one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars content right now because it's so connectively disconnected. Like there was a thread that I saw that was like Din Djarin constantly forgetting he's a Star Wars character. It's just a beautiful Jedi. Who's Luke Skywalker?
Yeah, exactly. Like he doesn't.
Can you
of
take this child? Ahsoka Tano.
It's like he like doesn't realize like the importance of the characters that he's meeting.
Oh, and it's amazing because the whole time we're geeking out. It's like that's Ahsoka, and because I mean I've got an emotional connection to Ahsoka. She reminds me of my sister.
Yeah.
So like to see Ahsoka on screen, it's like oh my god, that's my little sister right there, and he's just like, can you take this child? And she's like, no.
It's so funny how it's so funny how she turned out to be like one of my least favorite characters to like one of my favorite now. Because like how when she started out she was a little annoying, but like it makes sense because she was a child, and then you saw that like progression, because war like changed her. You know what I mean? It made her mature.
War changes people.
Yeah.
So that was a cool thing.
Being a childhood soldier.
Yeah,
oh
right.
My God.
The Jedi sending children into war.
Ooh, add another tick to the anti-Jedi counter. There we go. I have followers. That supporters.
That reminds me
Dude, they're flawed. Let's be real.
Oh, so the Jedi are definitely flawed. But if you
their hubris is what killed them.
Yes, absolutely. And here's the thing: people are like, Luke was wrong in the Rise of Last Jedi. Luke calls out the Jedi's hubris. He's like, one of my favorite lines from that movie is when Luke says, to say that if the Jedi die, the light dies is vanity. Can't you see that? Yeah. He's not wrong. Dude was spitting straight facts the whole movie, and everyone was just mad. because he didn't go out and face down the First Order with a laser sword.
Dude, I'd like to see half of these people deal with the stuff he's dealt with and still be like, not
Yeah, like-
cynical.
Absolutely. And like, here's the thing. Luke has been through so much in his life, and he finally just said, walk away. And interestingly enough, George Lucas's story treatments for his sequel trilogy, guess what Luke was doing? He was hiding out in exile on the first Jedi temple to be brought back by a female student. This is from the notes of George Lucas himself for his plans of the sequel trilogy. So when people say, oh, that's not what Lucas envisions, it's literally what Lucas envisioned.
Lucas also envisioned Darth Maul being the main enemy of the sequel trilogy. That would have been cool.
I would have liked to have some kind of battle with Luke, in the sequel trilogy, but what are you going to do?
Exactly. I would have liked to have seen more, but what's great now is that, with the Mandalorian and this de-aging technology, or even better, let's do an animated style, like a Clone Wars style show where we have, 25 years from post Mandalorian of Luke building his Jedi Order. And they've got like one comic. They've got like the Rise of Kylo Ren showing Luke's Jedi Order. There's so much more to that story that we don't know about. And personally, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and we thought the temple was on Acto for the longest time, but it's on that planet that's unnamed.
Absolutely.
Unnamed foresty Jedi planet.
Yeah, unnamed forest planet.
Dude, it's crazy how it's scary perfect, that deep fake technology.
It's gotten so good.
I'll tell you one thing though. The only thing that the technology is limited to right now is the voice, because it's kind of like, have you watched the Mandalorian documentary on that episode?
Yes.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, they basically took like every line of dialogue from Mark Hamill or whatever, and they put it into this algorithm machine, and the algorithm takes like the tones from like all the words and stuff like that, some crazy stuff, and can actually formulate it. It's like a text-to-speech kind of thing, And the thing that sucks about that is the technology can't convey emotion. So that's why you see in that episode, it's a lot like, muddled, his speech,
Absolutely.
There's not very much inflection to it.
I was actually thinking about that when I was walking today. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. Was that a whole, like, Luke does sound very like robotic.
Yeah.
Where he kind of is like, the Mandalorian came to visit, didn't he? And he also talks a lot slower than like Luke talks.
Yeah, it's the limitations of the technology right now.
Which is, I mean, in my mind, it worked so well. And honestly, my favorite line in that episode is when Luke looks to Ahsoka and he's like, will I see you again? Like, that was almost perfect.
Yeah. It
does kind of work with Luke, like, trying to do the whole non-attachment thing. But this is Luke Skywalker.
He's making the mistakes of the Jedi Order before him,
Absolutely. Which I love. I love that. I think
it's more like keeping tradition's sake for tradition's sake. You know what I mean? And I feel like I want to see what changes, his views on that. Because he seems very like, by the books, it seems, with like, the whole attachment thing with like, you got to choose, which was, I was like, damn it.
Although I did
just
find
let him
that
use a
super
chainmail.
I found that super interesting because when he talks to Grogu, he doesn't necessarily say, he says, if you give into your attachment, which I think is very interesting because I think there's more to that there because he never decries attachment, but he also says you're giving into your attachments, kind of like he did in Empire, where he gave into his attachments to go run and save, Han and Leia. So I wonder, like, I don't know. I would just love to see more stuff of Luke's Jedi Order. Like, that's what I really want to see.
Same. I just don't know how much we'll get of it because, with the technology and everything. But you never know. They could really make some breakthroughs with it.
Animated
show.
From
this far with making it look pretty much like they hired that guy from YouTube. Did you know?
Oh yeah, and he did a bang up job. That did amazing.
The guy that made it better than it was. Lucasfilm hired him on.
I don't know what his name is, but shout out to him. He did great.
I don't either, but yeah, crazy.
John and team are working on the tech, more ready for future projects, just like the whole 3D camera environments. I want to bring that up for a quick second. So, even George Lucas has said this, that Star Wars has always been about pushing the boundaries of technology at the time.
Yeah.
So, I think they're very much keeping with the Lucas, idea of pushing technology. Like when Phantom Menace came out, like nobody used CGI. Like CGI was barely used, and it looked bad. So for Lucas to push the CGI that far to have a full pod racing scene that still holds up over 20 years later, pretty great.
Dude, even the Death Star trench, from the original movie.
The way they filmed that is just insane to me.
Yeah, it's because they have like actual physical models. I mean, that's why it holds up so well.
Exactly.
They built all that.
Although I think the pod racing scene holds up incredibly well too, like to this day.
Yeah. Did you see the behind the scenes thing with the sail barge?
Which one? Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, they actually had like a physical sail barge model, and they blew it up, and then obviously they recorded it and made it look expanded. Yeah, so it was an actual like mini explosion. Yeah.
That's super cool. I have to go back and rewatch that. Well, I remember this is a behind the scenes trivia, but Star Wars actually almost started a war between I think it was Tunisia and Libya, because they saw the sand crawler in the desert and they thought it was a Tunisian like secret weapon.
Oh yeah.
So
oh my god, wow.
Yeah, Muammar Gaddafi almost actually went to war with Tunisia over the sand crawler. Luckily, I think George was like, no, guys, it's a prop for a sci-fi movie, and they're just like, okay, we'll be watching.
I didn't even know that was actually like a physical thing. I thought that was like
So Star Wars almost started a real life war. The more you know.
Well, there you go. I didn't know that.
The more you know. Star Wars trivia for the day. So let's see what else. I'm trying to think. So in our thumbnail image for this episode, you were so gracious to send us a photo of your Mandalorian cosplay. So what was the process of building that like? We did an episode on costume building, so we'd love to hear more about that.
Dude, I'm still improving that thing. I spent 2 years on it just to get it like, finished. I say finished lightly because it's just a constant work in progress.
As somebody who's got a Mando kit, I feel you there.
Yeah, right. So originally I bought a fiberglass kit from, I can't even remember the shop or whatever, but it was some local guy. So it was made of fiberglass, and then I assembled it. What I used to attach it is what's the name of that? It's like super strong Velcro. I don't know how to sew, but I had my friend sew and stitch the Velcro into the soft parts, is what we call them, like the flight suit and everything, and that's how I attach it. And so funny enough, I'm a part of this group for the building the costume. And one of the guys was in touch with the costume designer, and she gave us the exact paint guide for the suit that was on screen. You pretty much start off with a gloss black coat, then you put on the clear coat, which is like a car clear coat, followed by the actual like chrome paint, which is called a Lumiluster, and then another coat of the clear coat. And man, I'll tell you, to get that like smooth, shiny finish, it is not easy.
Oof.
And then I was looking at like reference photos, and I realized the armor I had wasn't accurate. And I'm like a super stickler for accuracy, especially because I want to get into the costuming clubs.
Right.
You there, Dylan? Did he die?
Yeah, I'm here.
He might be. Okay, there he is.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah,
sorry, I had something pop on my computer. I tried to disanimate it bigger.
So then I had to completely redo it. Because actually, you know, the first build I didn't use the car clear coat. So it didn't have the exact perfect shiny finish. And I wanted to redo it because I got into 3D printing after that. And then I found like super accurate files, printed those out, spent like weeks sanding everything down to like get it smooth enough for painting. And then I repeated that process to the paint guide that I was telling you about. And I was running into issues for a few months with it because I failed to understand, because I live in Florida, there's humidity like all the time. That car clear coat, it needs to be applied in a room controlled temperature or temperature controlled room. And I was getting these bubbles in it, and I was like wondering why, and I had to keep sanding it down to get it back to the smoothness to repaint. And luckily enough, I knew a guy that worked at a body shop, and I slipped him some money, and he kind of put it in with, you know, his work for the day, clear coating cars and painting them. And yeah, it's as you can see, it's super shiny. It's got that car shine, you know.
It's an absolutely beautiful helmet.
Thank you. All right, see a
I can only
question here.
imagine if someone goes to like, somebody walks in the morning and it's like, all right, car, Mandalorian helmet, car. Wait, what?
I'll show you the jetpack I'm working on too, because I printed this out. So yeah, here's the jetpack. I haven't painted it yet. A piece broke off. I gotta glue it back on, but yeah.
The joy of 3D printing, gluing things back
Yeah.
on.
I'll tell you what though, it is a pain because the machines are constantly needing maintenance.
Yeah, Eli has a printer.
Eli has a printer that did kind of die tonight.
It's great, but it's also a pain, you know, because you're pretty much God. You can create anything that has a 3D model,
provided it's working.
Yeah, right. Dylan, you were saying something?
Yeah. So I want to bring up A1 Links' comment real quick. He said, "It's a quick question. Did you use graphite powder?"
Yeah. So
graphite
yeah,
powder
that gives
or you say it's a no-go?
No, I'd say that's definitely a viable option. A lot of people do use that, and it looks great. Don't get me wrong. I just I just really wanted the same exact finish that they had on the show because I thought that was really cool. I was like, if I can do this, why not? But graphite powder is very much a viable option. It still looks very good. So yeah, I'd recommend using that too if you really wanted to. It's a lot cheaper, I'll tell you that, because the paint they don't sell it in the States here, so you have to like import it. So I'd say it's like $80 for a 4-ounce glass bottle of it, and it only comes in like liquid form, so you have to have an airbrush. You can't just, it's not like spray paint where you can just like spray it down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's pretty much like painting a car. You have to use like an airbrush. So yeah,
I had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, so I was just gonna say real quickly, like, what do you use to like reattach your what are you gonna use to reattach that piece that broke off?
Probably just like Gorilla Glue or Bondo. Barge cement. Barge cements are really good.
Contact cement?
Yeah, contact cement. It's stinky, but it holds.
My scope and trigger have fallen off my DL44 more times than I care to count.
Yeah.
One time I was literally in the middle of like recording a quick draw video for my Instagram. So like I'm sitting there, I've got it ready, and I go and I draw and I just squeeze full force and just crack the trigger right off.
No, I had something like that happen on my forget the model of the Mando Blaster all the time.
And the whole time I'm thinking to myself,
rifle or the
no, I'm talking about like his pistol that he uses the blaster.
Yeah, I have no idea.
The only ones I remember is the ones from Death Watch, the Westars or Westar. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Westar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Death Watch has Westar 35s.
I love
those.
That
was 34s. What's Jango Fett's model? Jango Fett's model is a Westar as well, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's the previous model of the. I think it's Westar
Shoot.
33, Westar 35. It's one of those.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to get going soon here.
That's all right. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up. So before we get going, so we have a couple things that we go through real quick. So we're gonna
Do you
talk.
have any more questions
news.
about the Starcruiser?
All right.
If
All
not, it's
right.
cool.
Yeah, actually, I got one more. So, out of all the experiences that you went through on the Starcruiser, what was your favorite moment?
What was my favorite moment? Probably that situation I was telling you about. Well, I'll give you two, since I already told you. The situation with the smuggling thing through the concert was pretty cool. And then another one was when we had to distract stormtroopers, because Rey was boarding the ship or whatever, and she was trying to keep like a low profile. We were trying to distract stormtroopers, and then we were in a hallway, and I didn't expect this at all. She comes up and just yells stop, and then holds up her hand and like does like a Jedi mind trick thing on them. And the crazy thing is, a lot of those situations you have to be in the right place at the right time. Like there's a lot of people that wouldn't have experienced that,
Mhm.
you know, unless you were like in that hallway, you know. And then another, I'll tell you one more. And there was another situation where that cargo I was telling you about that you had to pick up. It was information that you had to scan into your phone or whatever, but they ended up bringing it, and it was actually a case that had a holocron in it. And I still don't know how they did it. Also, there was like 25, 30 people. Keep in mind the ship's like 200. So everyone that wasn't in that room didn't see that either, like I was saying. And it only happens once. And I don't know how, but the holocron opens and a Yoda hologram comes out, and I still don't know how they did it. It was crazy.
All right,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That was cool.
That's-
So yeah, those were some of the crazy moments that I really enjoyed.
All right, man. I'm sold. I just booked an appointment to get my kidney and part of my liver removed. So
Just sell
I'll let
some
you know what I
organs.
think.
Sell your body to science.
Exactly. Donate my body to science so I can go on Galactic Starcruiser.
I don't
Guys,
need both my kidneys.
Guys,
The
if you're
cocktails
interested in
were
a
really
side
cool
hustle with a
too.
huge potential to make money. Doing
Oh,
it.
you piqued my bartender brain with that one.
Yeah, no, there's some really cool cocktails. Like if you see in the video that I posted. Oh, and there's like collector cup glasses, not cups, but they're actually collector glasses. Let me see if I can find them actually. I want to show you guys. Where did they
You
go?
had you said the one you had was what, the Mustafarian one you called it?
Yeah, it was like a spicy margarita basically, and they had what was called lava extract that even made it more spicier. Let me try and find this. I swear I have it like right over here.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'll keep talking while I look for this.
But yeah, so while you're looking for
is
that, so we're gonna go over real quick. So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk real quick about news and rumors. That's kind of we do
Swear I
news and
had it.
rumor segment, and then we do a figure
Yeah.
of the day, and then we close. So
Okay.
news and rumors. Heads up to anybody out there who hasn't seen it yet. There are images of the Kenobi show floating around right now on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that. If you've seen it,
Found them.
you know what I'm talking about, and it's very cool. If you haven't seen it, try to avoid it. I had it spoiled by me randomly by some dude on my For You page, and I was like,
I would say it's
"Bruh."
not that bad. You know,
No, it's a very
if it's what
minor
I'm thinking
spoiler
of. We already know
of a
about
moment
it.
that. Yeah, it's a very minor spoiler of a moment we know is gonna happen. But
This is the weird glass that it came in. Here's like the stand with like the logo on it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That is
it's
neat.
like that. Oh, and another thing I'll tell you about. One more thing. So I got this pin right here, right? And you can only get it. So I went in the gift shop, right? So watch this. It like flips. It says Halcyon. And then it flips
to
have the Rebel logo. And you could only get this if you go into the shop and say to the shopkeepers, you're like, I've come for I want to purchase the artifact, right? And so they go into this like display stand and they like turn these knobs or whatever, do this crazy like, I don't know, like different zigzag movements or whatever, and open it, and they pull it out, and this is Rebel pin. It's crazy. You can only buy it if you say that to them and know
write
like
that down. Write that down. But yeah,
yeah.
Kind of reminds me of when I was when I was in high school, I went to DC with some family, and we stopped and visited the International Spy Museum, and there was all kinds of like little things like that. So that definitely gave me spy museum vibes.
Yeah, and I think I
But
have the other one
anyways,
in the kitchen, but it was cool. It's like a round kind of like glass, and the base of it's like this gold handle. It looked very like something you'd see on Coruscant
all right.
in like
I'm
the
trying to
bar
think.
scene or whatever.
I think
Yes.
the only other news and rumors that I've seen is that Anthony Mackie has stated that Captain America 4 is going to begin filming soon.
Heck yeah.
And then trying to think what else. Apparently Thor Love and Thunder has started a press trailer, so hopefully we'll be getting a trailer soon. One can
Nice.
hope.
We're actually gonna get a trailer for that movie?
Hopefully. Because Thor so between Thor Love and Thunder is one of the shortest releases between Marvel movies we've had. So it'll be interesting to see like what comes from it. So
I think
There's
it
also
is.
rumors.
Hmm?
Sorry, go ahead.
This is the shortest one because previously it was held by the Incredible Hulk, and has since dethroned that.
nice. But yeah, I'm
Oh,
trying to
one
think.
more thing.
Yeah.
I got this model from. It's the model of the Halcyon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Also has
That's a
like.
pretty chip.
Yeah. There's some. Let's see. What else does it do?
Doesn't have lights.
Yeah. Like there's like alarms and stuff on
It
it.
has lights and noises.
And then what was the other side? And it has like the back actually lights up too.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That is really
I
cool.
love it.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
And then for my fig of the day, so I'm gonna do we do a Lego minifigure of the day, so I had to step up screen to get them.
Did you guys also hear that there's a rumor that The Mandalorian season 3 will come out this summer?
I saw that. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
I did not
Yeah,
hear
I'm
about
down
that
with
one.
it. I wonder when Andor's probably a fall thing.
Yeah, so I think because Kenobi's coming out in May,
Yeah.
and then it's Andor, and then who knows when Bad Batch
Maybe
is coming.
July or August. I don't know.
Well, Kenobi is May 25th, so I think it's the anniversary of Star Wars, like A New Hope releasing. So
Yeah.
my
No, I'm not
figure
gonna
of the day-
lie. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of hope Bad Batch season 2 is a little bit better, because I had a lot of expectations for that show, and I thought it was just okay. You know?
Yeah, so it wasn't my favorite, but
Yeah.
it definitely has a lot of potential to do
Yeah. No, for sure.
greater things.
Like that
I
first
hope they
episode,
lean- yeah, that first episode was great.
Order 66. I love seeing more of that. Anytime I get to see the Jedi get murked, I love it.
Yeah. All right, I want to ask you this real quick. So so they asked me this on Have a Chat with 1313. So I want to kind of ask you. So
Yeah.
3 like real quick rapid fire questions. So number 1, what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Empire.
Nice,
sure.
nice. What's your favorite Star Wars show?
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, okay. And then who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Luke Skywalker, for sure.
Nice. I like pretty cool. So for fig of the day today, I'm gonna go ahead and put up my Clone Wars Count Dooku
The
Oh.
face.
with the face. That's why I
His
love
eyes.
him. The face.
The eyes are so close together.
Lollipops. Charlie, you cannot be.
That was
eating
another thing I like about the Skywalker Saga Lego game is they got a lot of the Clone Wars actors for
Yes.
Oh,
the
yes.
voices. Yeah,
That is
I have yet to play it, but I think I may get it tonight.
it's really fun. I'm enjoying it.
looks like a lot of fun. As soon as I get a gaming system, that'll be one I'm picking up along with Fallen Order 2.
Whenever that comes out.
One day it will come.
We awaited
But anyways,
somewhat.
so I want to say
impatiently.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming out and joining us. So in the
Yes.
description of this video, everybody, you can find a link to Anthony's Instagram at Vanillawombat. And I posted the link tree that was in your Instagram bio as well. So that's all
cool.
in the description of this video.
Awesome.
So thank you so much for everybody for coming out and joining us for another episode of Under the Helm podcast. Thank you again to Anthony for joining us. Eli, you've been amazing as always.
I do my best.
Well, before we leave, don't forget, hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it and you're feeling so generous, follow us on Instagram so you can stay updated with the show when we drop. We go live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to join us on Thursday for another episode of our Moon Knight series, because tonight, episode 3 of Moon Knight drops.
I haven't watched that yet.
We're staying up till
today's
3 a.m.,
Tuesday,
baby.
right?
Let's go.
Today's Tuesday.
You're staying up till 3 a.m.
I
promised myself I was going to bed 11 tonight.
No, I gotta work tomorrow. There's no way.
Thank you so much to everybody who came out. Yeah, I gotta work tomorrow too. I'll get up early and watch it, but that'll be about
The only
it.
thing will get me up at 3 a.m. is Mandalorian.
There you go.
Yeah.
You got to.
You got to do that to
avoid
dodge
all
the spoilers.
Oh God,
I've been
Kenobi's gonna
lucky.
do that to me too.
Oh.
I'm gonna get
Yep.
no sleep
Kenobi-
the entire month.
No sleep.
Book of Boba Fett. I would literally. Yeah, but before we go, Book of Boba Fett. I had to watch an episode, literally and then go to work in the mornings. So I would literally watch an episode. What was it? Episode. What was it? 5. Where they, whichever one, or it was like 5 or 6. The one where they, Luke and Ahsoka appeared on screen together. Din and Grogu. They gave Grogu the choice. They blew up Garsa Fwip's sanctuary. And I drove to work. My whole drive to work, I was like, man, I got so many questions. I got to wait a week for this. That's BS. I hate it, man.
Right.
I hate it, but I love it. But with that being said, thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. And we will see you guys next time when we go under the